Now, this is a miracle drug. Are statins a new miracle drug? Personally, I say yes, and so do a lot of experts. Why? Because I've been taking it since it first came out, and in 1987, the very first drug came out, was produced by Merck. And it was called Mevacor, generically it's called Lovastatin. And the same year, my daughter, who was in the medical field, did the original research on Pravachol, or Pravastatin, and that was another drug company competing with Merck that she works for in Princeton, New Jersey. So I started Pravachol in 1988, and I've been on a statin ever since. What good then are the people who are touting miracle drugs? All they're good at is selling stock in the company and nothing else. So you have to be careful when you see, and I saw one the other day, a miracle drug for curing menstrual cramps. Wow, I need that.
Sounds good.
What is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a waxy steroid produced by the liver, and it's part of every major hormone that we have. And for you men, without that, you won't have any testosterone, and you're going to build breasts. So be careful. So we need cholesterol. We can't live without cholesterol, but too much cholesterol is dangerous. When produced in excess, it can cause what we call atherosclerotic plaques. These are waxy plaques in the arteries, neck, brain, heart, and legs.
What is that special test that you mentioned that they perform on during cholesterol on the particles?
Well, today we know there's more than one cholesterol. There's really 13 different cholesterols in the body. But the most important cholesterols are what they call the low density, the LDL lipoproteins. And among those, they have what they call highly dense small particles. And these are very dangerous to the system. And there's a company in California that will test them. And again, later on, those who want to know about it can call, email me, telegram me, and I'll tell you the name of the company. It's worth doing once in a lifetime. I've done it. I know what all my different cholesterol fractions are, and I'm very happy with my results.
Thanks.
Now, statins are effective to help prevent heart disease and reduce the incidence of heart disease almost by 60%. Over 100,000 clinical studies have been done showing that statins are the miracle drug. One of the few, but it is. Also, it has lowered strokes by 17%. So it does work. And also, recently there have been some studies to show that colon cancer has been prevented by taking statins. Now that has to be proven, but there's some anecdotal evidence for it. Now there are side effects to statins, and we all know them, we've all had them. Out of the 11 statins that have been on the market, 3 have been removed, and one of them I had taken, and it gave me some terrible pains in my arms and legs. But other than that, and the occasional diarrhea, sometimes dizziness, most people who take statins are benefited by them. As I said, I had a terrible reaction with one. The one I'm taking now, no reaction, no side effects whatsoever. But there are serious side effects, and one of the worst of them is rhabdomyolysis. Rhabdomyolysis is really a Greek word which talks about muscles melting. And what the statin does, it actually makes certain muscles dissolve and get into the system, mainly from the kidneys. And therefore, one of the major effects of that, of course, is acute renal failure. And I've had one patient who had developed acute renal failure, and it took many years for it to show up. But there's a test that we do where normal is 150 to 300. Her test was 25,000 the day we admitted her to the hospital. And yet she was saved with good medical care and no longer takes statins. But she is 1 in a million I'd rather still take my statins and not be at risk for heart disease or stroke. With my family history, loaded with heart disease, people who died of coronaries, my mother and my father died of strokes. My father could have been alive today and still had he been taking a statin.
How often should your blood be tested after you start a
I myself test my cholesterol, my liver panel, because it does, it's made by the liver, and my cholesterol every 3 months, 4 times a year. I insist that my doctor do a complete 12-hour fasting cholesterol panel. And if I notice any changes, I'll call it to his attention or vice versa. Now, there will be some changes in that, what we call the liver panel, minor changes. You can ignore them. I've had them, and they've never gone above the level they first started at. Because since it's made by the liver, the drug will affect the liver. We're talking about liver enzymes that are twice the normal or higher. To be abnormal, it has to be twice as high as normal. Okay.
Hold it.
Now, we're going to talk about